you guys are doing? Hope you. My hair is a little disorganized. I forgot comb. I don't know where I put it. I normally comb when I'm. So, but today I have no idea where I put it. So I'm driving out of a parking lot, and yeah, lots of cars here. So you have to maneuver to make sure you can get in front of someone, or to make sure that you can actually just get into the line. So car choices. If you can look at the thumbnail I put today, is one of my followers. Yeah, very good followers, who is a little confused. Yesterday we were talking. Yes, good morning, Patrick. We were talking about how these cars kept losing value, and RAV4. We talked about the Raoul. We talked about the Super Custom. Yeah, and a number of cars that have kept losing value. Okay, and how it's not a very good choice for you to buy these cars. So I have two phone holders in my car. One of them actually doesn't make a lot of noise when I'm moving on a bumpy road, just the way you can hear. Good morning, Brian. Thank you for being. So you see, it actually gives me light. So I'm going to tell you a story today, Luba Lugambo, but it's important that I tell you this so that no one makes this mistake. So you know, I told you how we live 35 kilometers from town, and so one of my neighbors moved in. A very good thing. Now we have a neighbor close to us, and this neighbor of mine was driving a Golf 4, Volkswagen, the Golf 4. I'm sure you know what it looks like, and actually it almost looks like the car that is almost in front of me. You can't view it because there are cars in front. So anyway, so he was driving a Golf 4, and in my hearts of hearts I was saying, okay, I hope that he can actually get to finish successfully driving this Golf to and from work every day to this place. Ebinya bingi, amayinja mangi, because we live on a hill, and of course my concern was true. So he was driving yesterday. Of course teyamenyekedde waffe mu binnya byaffe n'amayinja gaffe. Hey Brian mpaka Fizi baba. Good morning Abubeka. I'm very fine. Brian Kafizi Kampe. So my neighbor Adavuga Golf 4, and yesterday I went to Ntebe Road, which I know Ntebe Road is not what caused this. Karankse ya engine ne yatika ne yiwa oil na gwam. I'm thinking Karankse ne badde njati for some time. Naye nga teya okumenyekera ddala yamenyekedde ku Ntebe Road, and then the engine blew. Yeah, engine ne mukubako just like that. So now he's going to spend about 4 million to repair this car, to repair the engine, ojiza kubala. And yeah, we were having a discussion with him, and I was telling him in a wafeje tubeera wa Toyota ya wamba. It's not an accident that Toyota is what it is, you get. So Toyota teri accident. I drive my car Corolla here every day, 85 kilometers, tekafa mwezi ku mwezi. Nkola maintenance, repairs, bichi, and I was telling him all these things, and then he's like, okay, katingina gula muruka. The only disadvantage with Toyota nti motoka za fiba zibba. Ababbi bazagala katika Corolla kankanu kakwatanga mwana. Omubbi wakagwirako. Someone was even offering me money here on YouTube. Kati oyo was offering me money. Kati wakagwirako bwati atwala katwale. So I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So we were having a discussion. He's going to end up selling the Golf 4 if at all it works out in his favor, and then aguleo ka Toyota akanamu emirembe. So this happens. And today I want us to talk about car choices. Have you looked at the thumbnail? There is a thumbnail generated by one of my followers, very good followers. Yesterday's live was confusing him. Why? Because I kept saying bobo ina million 15. Of course, with 15 million, my brother, you have a lot of choices. Omuntu ina million 15 zenga zekutenga za cash. ofune motoka ennamu ogenda ovuga olemena kwejjusa. Olaba omuntu alina million 10 afune motoka nga nnungi. You get. But of course, omuntu wa million 15 abane choices nyingi. Ku million 15 you can drive any car almost. Ku million 15 you can buy an ML4matic. Ku million 15 you can buy a Wish. Ku million 15 you can buy a Noah. Ku million 15 you'll buy a Spacio. Ku million 15 you can buy a Harrier. Of course not the new model, but you can buy a Harrier. Ku million 15 there is basically, I think you can literally buy almost all the cars that we desire. You can buy a Pajero. Zilieni nene sibu no bujidi ayo butono. Ate nga zilieni of course zifa lesa. Zifa chitono okusinga buno bujidi ayo wa mu butono bwe mwagala ku Pajero. Bwe mulowooza that it saves fuel. Ovuga Mark X. Ku million 15 ofuna double cabin Hilux. Ku million 15 ovuga Ractis. Ku million 15 you can literally drive every car. It's the condition eyinza okujjamu. You get what I'm saying? So car choices. So this friend of mine is saying kakati Arthur million 15 memba nyongerako million 5 ngende mu bondi and I get a new car. Watching ngule motoka nkadde wano. And it goes back to choices, guys. Nti Arthur njagala ogule motoka. Yes, good morning Button. Thanks for the sharing. Well, I know you love manual cars. So my question is, there are manual fielder? Yes, there are manual fielders. Manual fielders, Jezina. There is a manual VTs, Jeziri. What you Alex ya VTs, fielder ya VTs, Jerry. I've even seen a Wish that was manual. Na ziri rare. Ziri very rare. Nenga Jeziri almost in all cars kastabanga gear lever ya wano wansinge yange bujiraba. You can find a manual car. I've even seen a Spacio, the old model in manual. So almost all cars that have gear levers that are here, they have a manual version. Nenga ziba rare. And clutch system. Yeah, I bought the clutch and pressure at 120. But the other thing I realized, if you're going to be driving manual cars, you need to have 2 pairs of clutches. Like now, I have a spare clutch. And again, I never refacing. You know they can reface those clutches. Never refacing, and I put it somewhere in my car. So in case the clutch egwako, when I'm anywhere, I just get a mechanic, musumule your gearbox, and take him clutch and it's cheap. Clutch to reface a clutch is about 30 or 50,000 depending. Mechanical wange yanzi bane nchimanya, it's just that simanje refacing. Then mo emitwale 5, but I know he used 30. You get what I'm saying? So ebisere imo muntu omuleka na akuba na roza mugezi nnyo nenga okitekeddeyo. So but manual cars are there. Jezirimu Wish, Jezirimu Fielder, Jezirimu Spacio, old model, not the new one. Yeah. Jeziri nemu Ipsam. If you haven't seen a manual Ipsam, yeah, you saw it. Yeah. Nenga ziri rare, but if you decide in njagala motoka yonga ya manual, you will actually find it. And it's very motoka ya manual is saving anyama futa. But it's a choice still. Nga when you get a car choices, it's going to be a choice. Gwe jo gamba. Nze, no matter what, I'm going to drive a manual car. A motoka ya manual has a lot of advantages, but it also has a lot of disadvantages. The first disadvantage is that mechanics are mechanic motoka za manual back in the day. You can't go to a mechanic atama inavuga motoka ya manual wataka nike manual, and that is what is happening. Majority of mechanics kati abato abapia vuga motoka za manual, so they would not know how to fix it. But one thing I've actually realized is that tugenda kufuna culture ya abazungu. You know what? It reaches a time and they can actually repair their own. Certain things are very easy to have the time. It's the thing that I told you. It's a choice. Washing the car. I wash my car every day. Of course, me, I get rainwater. I have 10,000 liters rainwater at my home. So every evening when I get home, because tomorrow that day. So I get home, I wash it. I use 15 minutes to wash the car. So because sabuni, I just pour water and and the car is clean for tomorrow. You get. And I realize I'm saving money by not taking my car to a washing bay, which together I save a lot of money. That's a choice I made. Omuntu omulala ajja kugamba ate abalala banajjawo emirimu. Gwe bw'alito ina motoka tebafunanga mirimu. You get. So if you can actually save that money, over 10k a week, that's 40,000 a month, and that's 480,000 every year. And 480 in 10 years, that's 4.8. 4.8 can do a lot in your home. And that's like how much I save. So that was the choice I made. You can make a choice, no gamba. For this reason and this reason, I'll drive a manual car. At in the government, or government agencies, bagula motokas and manual, embassies, bagula motokas and manual. There must be something that they see in manual cars that many people have not yet seen. You get. So yes, you can get a manual car, no jivuga. But like I said, I was telling you the story about my neighbor and the Golf. Don't buy a Golf. Try as much as possible not to buy a Golf. It will take a lot of your money. The thing with Toyotas, even if you bought a Toyota and you spent a lot of money repairing it, there are very many chances that it will stay on the road. But a German car, you can spend that money and then you end up still selling it in Geganye. You get. I'm going to host one of my followers here who had a Mark X. He wanted to upgrade the year. He had, I think, a 2006 Mark X. Then he went to the carbon. He did the butter after Mark X 2007, and he got a very bad deal. Mark X nyembi. So I'm going to get a session and we'll talk about that experience. Mark X here, his experience with Mark X, because his comment was that don't buy a Mark X. So I'm curious to know why he's saying that. Very soon I'm going to upload a video on the Alphard. There's an old gentleman there that is my friend that drives an Alphard. He's going to share his experience. There are people that want to buy family cars in Alphard. So we are going to be doing that. I uploaded the Benz video. Approved. I don't know why YouTube is doing that, but I'm thinking it will be approved today. It's 30 minutes of us talking to a real Benz mechanic, someone that doesn't lie. You know, normally mechanics. All we've been to a mechanic, gearbox be funk chi. But he, for example, in his interview, he clearly said Benz gearbox we bate choose gear. Sometimes the imotoka inzo gana okuchusa gear nga omupira temuli mukka. Nti Benz webo mukka teguwera in one of the tires sejja kuchusa gear. So you may go to fix a gearbox nga mbutufu kyobadde kola kuteeka mukka mipira. It's as simple as that. So we'll see when the interview comes on. I recommend him for the guys that have German cars. Nadala Mercedes Benz nga you obadde ovuga Mercedes Benz, or you have a family friend or a relative that has a Mercedes Benz nga makanika wa mutawanya, I highly recommend that Benz mechanic. I trust him. Yeah, you can call me. So choices. The difference between buying a car at 15 million in Gebade Kukubo and buying a car 20 million in Gedimo Bond. What is the difference? I'll tell you an experience that I have had with a friend of mine. Yazimbe Nyumba, Tekuli fence. And his plan was to buy a car at 20 or 25 million. Ajideta ajiteke, ajiparking nga uko nyumba, e watali fence, wali garage. So this is what I told him. Ekifocho gule motoka million abiri. Lwaki tokuteeko million 13 n'ogula emmotoka n'osigaza million zino 7 ezitandika ekikomera? You get what I'm saying? Now that is teziba na 7 wabaguza emmotoka ya million 25 aba savings million 13. Million 13. If you have a standard plot, the ones that we get 50 by 100, 13 zizimba ekikomera bulungi nnyo tokikuba plus naye bo kizimbye ng'okisitudde ng'obuzaako. And for the gate, you can actually osobola okuzimba gate y'ekiwempe. That's very affordable. Oba gate y'ekibati temporarily nebeerawo era nayo it keeps people out, it gives you privacy, because majority of the time the people that steal our cars batwegendereza ajja leero n'ayitawo enkeera n'alaba, and sometimes it's our mechanics, it's the guys at the washing bays. You get, it's people we know that steal our cars. So it's simple math. Gwe bw'oba ogula emmotoka empya emiliyoni 2 oba 25 toyina kye weetaaga kirala kukola, because it's important for us to understand oyina ekirala ky'olina okukola, because times tuvuga ffe emmotoka enkadde. Me I drive an old car not because bwe mba nsazeewo sobola kugula mmotoka ya bondi. I can comfortably nenjigula nenjivuga, but nze for me I've come to realize that emmotoka eringa simu. from Gaza. When you're opening it, it's all new. There is that feeling of a new phone. Put all the apps that you had put on your old phone. And the phone will become normal. You get? I've come to learn that even cars are like that. The feeling is the same. You get what I'm saying? So this is where the choice is supposed to come in. Opportunity cost. You get? Because, for example, you and this doesn't apply universally. This is how I do my math for myself. This is how I do my math for myself. I do my math this way. That inze chinyamba chi okuvuga emmotoka empya. For example, nga business yange ebulamu capital. That's one way to see it. Ekyokubiri, chinyamba chi okuleta emmotoka empya ate ngisasulire parking somewhere nga nsasula 2,200. Now that's 60,000, that's 600, no, that's 720,000 annually. Ngosasula parking fees. What does it benefit me okuvuga emmotoka empya nga sina nawe njisuza? For me, those are basic principles. Actually, when I was still renting, I last rented in 2016. But in around 2016, I think things got a little hard. When nali mpangisa, there were houses, but I think bali ba Uganda, bali ba nyinizo before. So two houses, two brothers sold their houses. One brother kept his house. Nenga brother yasigaza house enyumba ye yesemba yo, it didn't have a road. Katinga, you have to go through a compound of a person that owns their house when go mpang so iteo. So it became very hard ntiba neighbor banginga bangana okuyisa awe motoka. So I could no longer park it in my compound. And I had to pay parking fees. Nansasule 3,300 because ngorumu esula yo, because I was near town nga set agavuga motoka buli lunaku. So it didn't make sense for me to rent. Nasasule nyumba ya mitwalo na insasule mitwalo 25. And in 2016 25 it was. But the reason why I did that because I know the office out. Then sasule rent, at sasule parking. So I decided it did make sense. That's when I went and started building in where I used to live in Kasangati. And when I built, I had a very small plot, but I made sure that when Zimbandeka space motoka wenji parking. Why? It does not make sense okugamba ndiradi road na zimbe nyumba na inga toina wo parking motoka. Ngate ovuge motoka no sokojereka parking ate no linya bode kutuse uwo. For me it doesn't make sense. You get? And again, I made sure to build like a fence, like a mini fence for my car to be safe. That's what happened. So again in Kasangati, want to know funda. You know those plots of tono, the neighbors came, they batand go kuzimbang and motoka toina woji chusiza. That's when I decided, of course it was one of the reasons I decided, okay, let me go. Mfune want to wagaziko. That's how I decided to go 35 kilometers from town. Because it's where I could find an affordable plot and build a good house. You get? So even then, when I moved to that place, the first fence I put up was a chiwempe. You get? Because for me it doesn't make sense to buy a car of Gemoroka million munana, because my primo was about 7 to 8 million. Of Gemoroka million munana na yenga bagenda jijuno na bajitwali. Tota deo even a barrier. So the chiwempe fence is very simple. But chobo manya chirinti echiwempe echo chikuwa privacy omuntu natamanye moroka yo jigalotya batro jijeko na ochitegeera it gives you a little privacy. I figured that it gave me a little privacy until I could actually build a fence. So when I put up a fence, still negate never actually pay nefuka each party until I could build a fence. You get what I'm saying? But as a process onoziita motya ngovuge moroka million asatu mu 5. Mark you, motivational speakers get their American ideologies where in America, you buy land, then build a house, and then you start paying property tax, a lot of property tax, and then you pay Simanya Homeowners Association fees, and there are a lot of things that you pay in America that make owning a home very expensive. And those things, I'm sure the way URA is looking for money, they are going to make sure that we start paying all those things. Or I heard that they want to start taxing us. Of course, that is impractical because it's very impractical because national water, where I live, there is no national water. One way for me to have water is to actually get rainwater. And it works for me very well because Siguramazi, with 10,000 liters of water, we're very safe. So I'm sure those taxes will come. But before they come, what reason do you have to actually not own a home if you can afford one? You get, because if you have 35 million, you can get 10 million, no good plot, no quarter million, no good motoka, no water million, no zimba ko burumo butandiko kubeeramu. Now this is the basic way for people like me, hustlers like me, that I will say people that have started from zero going up. You have a few mentors here and there, but then the choices actually go back to you. What do you want? What do you need as a man? I told you in Africa, I'm an African man, and in Africa, if you have a family, you're not a real man until you have actually built a home for them to live in, a place where they can say, this is our home. When ogenda kutambuza abana bo paka D, until this year we are living in Chisasi, next year we want to live in Bukoto, then the year after that we get to Pangiseke Bugorobi flats, then after that you're going to be a nomad until when? You get, forget about those things that the motivational speakers tell you on YouTube and TikToks, the TETs. Why are you locking yourself in one position? In one position, if in Uganda, for example, Nairobi, moving, which is very impossible. Anyway, these are choices that we make as human beings, as men, because a majority of my followers here are men. Following a channel make it because of mukazi following a channel that she wants to empower herself okuyiga okumanya nti motoka njagala, but how do I manage a life for cars? Because remember my video, there is a video I posted where it was where we were talking about how to get a car. I told him there is a time a guy was challenging me ngamba atabwetoloza tusobola kuva moto no motoka no jiva, and I told him sijja kuva ku motoka. I love cars. I love my car. I love having a car because the car moves me from point A to point B without trouble. And that's exactly what I've done. I've not been there and seen a motor at any moment because one, I make sure that I buy a car that I can afford, and two, I know how to downgrade when I should. I know how to upgrade when I should. Because at the end of the day, even if it's business, the people that are going to give you business, mark you, even for status, it's the people that you work with that care which car you drive. The people that give you business, tebafayo. And if they care, I can go and hire a car at 120 or 150 or 200. If the deal I can go and hire a car at 200,000. Nenjevuga kawundo, nengenda mu meeting ne ba client bange, ne bampa deal, nenzizayo kawundo y'omusajja, nenzirayo mu Corolla yange. Some things are basic choices, basic math. Going back to the choice of whether buying a new car is better than buying a used car. Even to be the math. Sengamba de million in answer to the account. If I had 70 million sitting on the account, ngatizidi kabanja, business yange ina capital, abe wange nyumba njimaliriza bulungi bali comfortable, fees z'abaana tezimenya kusasula, you get, and I have 70 million still. What I would do is that I would actually go and buy a car from the bond at around 20-25 million. Nsigaze million ya 5 kwa account. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Because then I have 70 million lying there. Why am I driving an old car? From the bond. Because you can afford it. Once again. But bobo ina million zo abiri mutano. Chechi kwase million abiri oziguleke moto kosigaze million 5. Nge moto keyo joguze million abiri. Senge tomero olunaku olwaleo ne yigitaga million 7. Togenda kubako na kuzijja because you're going to park it for a week. You're going to park that car for a week or even a month ngononya sente. ezimu ozeewole n'okuzeewola. You get what I'm saying? So it's choices. I keep saying choices, but in actual sense it's actually math. Aba math. You buy a car that makes perfect mathematical sense. I used to fail mathematics. Remember I told you I'm a dramatist, I'm a theater artist, and we are working on a product where we actually we have to develop something that explores mathematics. I realized that I didn't know math. Era nsasidde batabani bange abasoma math kati because ebintu bye basoma nze simanyi na bwe nayita naye nga nayita math from primary school. You get, but some things are basic mathematics. Abantu abamu, for example, their cars zemanyi ng'omuntu okugigula aba agiguze for the trend. Omuntu agula premier ye tuli mu maaso ebiseera ebisinga agenda okugula premier eyo aba agiguze for njagala primo. Tajigula because it makes perfect sense to buy a primo. Ebiseera ebisinga abantu abagula premier ezo bazigula because the world buys primos, because well a primo is a good car, well a primo is a prestigious car, well because omusajja avuga primo. Tebagula primo because it makes perfect mathematical sense. Yensonga lwaki primo eyo bwe etomera negenda ku police for a month era ogwo omwezi agumala teyeevuga. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Teyagigula because it makes sense for him to buy it, teyagigula because he wants it. And there is a stage, because my followers are abasinga, like I said yesterday, most of my followers, when I look at my analytics, most of my followers are between 25 and 40 years. 25, mostly 25 and 35 years. Age bracket yange. Age bracket yange mu Uganda, okujjako nga you have been very lucky. Tucheyiya, we are still hustling. Ate wane boba bava mu family ngagge ebiseera ebisinga mu my age bracket. Oba tondafuna yo footing. Okujjako nga muzaddewo ya funding obulamu bwo. But if you fund your own life, you're still hustling, you're still trying to find life, you're still trying to find your place in life, you're still trying to figure out your finances, you're still trying to figure out what you really want. Okitegeera bw'obanga you have been able to develop yourself, olinawo kuyumba bw'abapangisa, ozimbye ennyumba yo, weevuga olinawo akamotoka, if you have a shop in town that makes money already for you, okitegeera but still you haven't figured it out. Nti bwe bakola lockdown endala olwaleero, your business will close. Senga bakola lockdown endala olwaleero, your income will dwindle, ne bwoba olina nnyumba z'abapangisa kuba nabo tebajja kusasula. You get what I'm saying? We haven't really figured things out, so it's important that we make decisions that are very key. Make very careful decisions. That's why I normally tell my followers, it's important that you invest in the pre-purchase inspection. Ngatonnagula motoka, emotoka gisasula omuntu agikebere. Va mu byokugamba tugende ngule motoka nga mukanye nga temunnava naawe ngenda kuwa sente meko okunkeberera emotoka. Njagala gula motoka nnungi kikuweesa sente zino. Tuleme gula, tokkiriza gula motoka mbi. You get, nze ne bwe mba njagadde, your job is to make sure that we don't buy a bad car. You get what I'm saying? Invest in pre-inspection, pre-purchase inspection. Okusinga ate bw'onoteeka sente mu kukanika emmotoka, teeka sente wano mu kukebera nga tonnagula. Ne bw'oba ogenda gula motoka ya bond, gikebere. Emmotoka za bond zifa bulijjo wano, n'agigula and in a week the engine has blown. N'agigula in a week the gearbox is blown. Okitegeera? Those things happen. N'agula emmotoka agenda ogituusa nga emmotoka yali yakibo naye nga ya bond. You get what I'm saying? Invest in pre-purchase inspection because it's very important. Bw'omala ogula emmotoka eyo ogiguze eyiyo, make sure that you transfer it to your names. Someone told me to talk about transferring, the transfer process. I'm going to briefly talk about it also. But it's important. Omaze investing in pre-purchase inspection, oguze emmotoka, then you're going to transfer it to your names. Okay? It's important emmotoka ebe ina manyago because emmotoka eyo bweba teri manyago si yiyo. Ne bw'onogenda ku poliisi ng'onoonya emmotoka yange baagibye eri mmanya gaani. Okitegeera? Then ng'ogamba ate kati eri mmanya ga bondi yajinguza, omusajja ayita nanko ya transfer, mugenda omunoonya ate ng'omusajja yafa. You get what I'm saying? It wouldn't make sense to do things that way. So ebintu bikole nga abantu abali exposed already. So how do you go about transferring a car? I don't have a copy of my logbook with me here. Kati, to this, you are introduced a computerized system of logbooks. Until you can own a car and not move around with it. You remember in the past, okay, some of you may not know. In the past, twainanga logbook ngaza green bwalinga butabo. You open it like this and their names, particulars here and then particulars here, and then on top there was a serial number. That's how you know the car ownership, engine numbers and all. So along the way, they computerize the system until when someone gets a TIN number. But when a TIN is like an inbox, a email address. Until you open your TIN, kupoto ya URA and you go in there and then you see everything to do with taxation, motoka chizoina, wasasula dio musolo, wobo ina ebyapa, because even ebyapa kati babichusiza na bibiri computerized, byonna bibero ko lands you own, cars you own. Okay? How much tax you owe and all that. So, kati when the car is yours, your logbook ebeda computerized, ebeda ku system eri ku TIN number yo. Okay? So bojo kungulake motoka like this one, it's in my names. I'm supposed to go to my TIN number, nkufulumize transfer forms. Kitegeeza ompa TIN number yo, which is very important for you to have a TIN. Ompa TIN number yo. Bompa TIN number yo. Bompa TIN number yo. Then I go inside my TIN and I put my details, the details of the car, then I put your details. Nezifuluma. Then nemfulumiza transfer form. Now transfer form is already particulars zo amanya TIN number you get. Nenze kusayiningira ko nenkwa copy endagano yendaga muntu yange you get. So that's all you need. A copy of the transfer forms, then ofuna neka copy ka logbook yange nkade yembadde nayo, then ne copy yendaga muntu yange nayo ngisayininzeko, then of course when full transfer form ezo zifulumira ko payslip bundi bank slips. These bank slips you're going to use them to go and pay in the bank. Bosasula mu bank, obosasula mitwalo munana mu kanana around there plus bank charges. Then afterwards you get those forms, nozitwala ku URA head office. Bozitwala, that's all you need. And then later on bakuwereza email nga the car is in your names. It takes about 3 days maximum if it takes a long time. Cutting a motoka eri manya go just like that. Okitegeera. I don't know why this phone thingy shakes a lot. I don't like it, but it sometimes it gives me the view for you guys to actually see there. So that's the basic transfer. Bobo transfer is. That's why it's important. Bobo ogule motoka nga eri mu card empya, baita card empya. I'm sure you've heard of brokers saying motoka eno eri mu card empya. That's what they mean, that the logbook is new. The idea is computerized, like a card empya. But there are cars that you will buy ngechali mu logbook nkadde, which is very rare now. Oba ogenda gula motoka mu budget jengwa million 8 kwambuka waggulu. Emotoka ezo zisinga kati ziri mu card empya because most of those cars already ziri ku kkubo. Kati sawa it's very hard to find a motoka eri mu card enkadde eri ku kkubo because even traffic officers check. Bwakuyimiriza, the first thing they punch in your numbers okulaba eri mu system. Bwe bateri mu system, then they take it away from you. But most of these cars are in the system. It means ziri mu logbook mpya. But still, abantu abamu balina emotoka nga ziri mu logbook mpya naye nga tebatransferring anga ng'emmotoka eyo eri mu logbook mpya naye ng'omuntu gwe bagigulako yali weggulu ate yafa, oba yali w'Embarara ate yafa, oba yali w'Emasaka ate yafa, oba yali w'Ejjinja ate yafa. Okitegeera? Obanga you cannot trace them ne number gye yateekako. For example, I bought an Ipsum one time, and the person in whose names it was once rich n'ayavuwala. Kati bw'ayavuwala musajja wattu n'atandika hustle nga n'okumufuna it's very hard. Ne computer tajajukira bwe bagikozesa, ne TIN number password nga yazeerabira. So I had to transport him from Kayunga. I sent him transport. Namuweza emitwalo 5. Najja nansanga somewhere. We went to an internet cafe. Tugenda okugira TIN number ne password tazijjukira, ne namba y'essimu gy'ataka mutajijjukira. Somehow we traced one of his old emails. Need to recover the password. So we recovered the password. Kyenakola neteekamu enamba, recovery number for that TIN number. Nenteekako ne email address yange. Okitegeera. Then netufulumya transfer forms nazinsayiningirako nampa copy yendaga muntu. And I relaxed just like that. But it was a process of kuba nti olina okuwa omuntu transport under normal circumstances. Omuntu yalifumiza transfer forms nazikuweereza because ne baba tasayininzeeko these guys abakola transfers those book kiosks baba amanyi bwe ekyo kikolera, so he would actually transfer the car for you without hassle. So I transferred just like that, but it was a lot of hassle. Then there is a time I bought a car, the owner, the person in whose names it was, Jinja. I bought this car from Bali, and along the way wetuba tuve Mbali nemukubya mga mzee yoliro dana masange Jinja wana bwe wati nebwe wati. So I drove and I found him there. Ne motoka inaja motoka yange njagala eno wotoka ngo jitundo ngambanga njagala nnyo. And yeah, so we went to the internet cafe nga guy password tajijukira ne number y'essimu gye yakozesa nga sijaalina kati. I think it got lost and he did not replace it, so we could not transfer that car. Nembeera nayo paka bwe nagitunda nga sigitransferinze era be naguza ne mbagamba mumanyi mujja kubira oyo omusajja ajja ba transferring. The good thing ne bamukubira ne bakebera enamba ku Airtel Money nga it was in his names, and just like that I gave them the car ne bagenda. So but you realize bosanga omuntu ali strict nga yagala transfer forms there and then emotoka ekulimu okutunda. So the transfer process transfer process empya naye nayo girabye erimu ebizibu. So the transfer process ya emotoka bwogisanga nga logbook yayo nkadde, logbook bweba nkadde ebira mu kitabo kya green, it's like a brochure. So akatabo ka green yako edda kabangoke tekaina buzibu, tekabanga na buzibu, because people never transferred. As long as you had that green thing, you had the ownership of the car. System yakyuka. So for today bw'oba olina logbook eyenkadde ng'oguze motoka nyini wa omuntu ali amanya gagali mu kataba ka green bw'aba ali mulamu, what happens is you will go to them bw'aba alina tin number empya, they will validate. The process of validation is free. They go to URA and validate. Okay, now they validate the car into the new logbook system, then it comes to their names in the new tin number empya. Okay, at wamala okola validation emukakasa and validation then namana from the transfer forms. However, majority of the times oyinza okusanga nti emotoka bweba mu green logbook nanyiniyo oba the person in whose names this car is taliwo, ebiseera ebimu tisimulamu, ebiseera ebimu he cannot help. So this is what happens. Then ojja kukola gye bayita court process, gye bayita gye bagamba era bwogenda mba broker ebyo bya court. So it you will use the court system. How? Nti you actually have to go, you determine that omuntu taliwo, you go to New Vision or Monitor or any newspaper, no longer person so and so find me to collect transfer motoka yo this number, then you include your phone number. That advert has to run for 2 weeks. Then after the ad has run for 2 weeks, then you can start the process. You end up with court, and then you get a court order, and then after the court order, you go to URA, they inspect the car to make sure that is the exact car you are going to call a transfer. Okay? Nibagitunulamu, nibalaba engine ekyali eyo, kale ekyali eyo, empira egiriko gye ngirina okubeerako biki. However, the inspection process at URA is very tricky. If you go and anything on the car was changed, let it be paint. Emotoka yali ya blue ne bagifuula ya white. Let it be the engine. Nga engine number eri mu logbook ndala, ne engine eri mu ina number, engine number ndala. The car does not come back to you. Era owogire car. I'm sure if you have gone to URA before, you have seen cars eziri awo ezitudde emipiira. Normally that is what happens. They inspect the car ne basanga nga engine eri mu ndala nga ate tewakyusa particulars, because normally bw'oba oyagala okyusa engine eri mu motoka yo oyagala teekamu engine endala, you're supposed to apply to the Ministry of Works. When you apply to the Ministry of Works, ne bakukiriza ne bagamba genda mu bank osasulayo ssente bweziti. When you pay that amount, ne bagamba genda okyuse engine. Kati engine number, engine empya gy'otokamu eyo engine number yayo gye baba batadde ku logbook eyo. But if you don't do that and you take the car for inspection, oba n'ogwa mu kindo kya URA nga they are inspecting those things, emmotoka bagitwala for good. Kitegeeza emmotoka gy'olina wa banzi be si yeeyo, you get. So bw'oba okola eri transfer ya green logbook, ya court order you take by inspecting emotoka bwe determining that everything is checho particulars emotoka yo bakita then nga bakukkiriza, then they will validate in the system, then nga bakuwa emotoka bakola card empya emotoka eri manyago. That's what I did with this Corolla. Actually with this Corolla I think babroka balina bye bakola ebitategerekeka, but somehow nenchiyitako and I went through the right process nze nabyekolyako nze mwennyini nyini, and eyo court process emalawo emitwalo 5-6 to transfer the car bwebanga erimu eyo process. So that's what happened with this Corolla when Najigula in the green logbook, and I could not trace the person in whose names the car was. So I had to go the court process, and yes, it was successful. It took me about 4 weeks. 4 weeks. And then after that, number plates are in Kadde, so I went and asked URA for new number plates. So number plate is in Motoka Yangi. Yeah, of course, number plates are right. So I think. Then they are in Australia mitwali na jibe mtu anakuwa 17 in total going na number plates ndio kumotoka hiyo, not UBL in that very number but fresh, a fresh look. That's what I wanted. Yeah, so and that's just how it happened. So if you're going to buy a car, it's recommended that ogule motoka ngirimu logbook empya atera. As you buy the car, you call the person in whose names the car is. There is a way you can check. I have people that I call them. So compare the motor eri manyagani na mperiza ni namba isimu n'enkubiro yo na ngwile bwe mukanaji ko ya transport aji ntege na kyengamba, just like that. Yeah, but this is a system that normally you need to know nomanya bwe bitambula. That's why I tell you that you need to invest in pre-inspection. Nze bwe nkusaba emitwala n'okukola inspection, there are things bye sijja kugamba bye ngenda okukola to make sure that tebakubba, to make sure that you don't lose money. Okitegeera. And yeah, so I think my alpha person is already here. Let me see if I can do my interview. Of course, I'll not upload it today, but if he's here, I'm going to record it. And yeah, and then I'll upload it probably tomorrow. Yeah, he's here. So tochera birangecho as you're going to buy a car that those things exist, but still buying cars is a choice. Someone will buy an ML simply because, well, fe wafe tuvuga Benz, uncle wange yavuga Benz, jajja wange yafa avuga Benz, kati nze sina nsonga lwaki nvuga Toyota. There are people that will buy, that will drive Toyotas, I mean Mercedes, simply because of that. I don't want you to be one of those people. Bobo vuga Mercedes Benz, jivuge simply because you can afford it, or simply because it's the right choice of car for you, not because jajjawo yali ajivuga ate mu family yamwe musayi gwa mulimu okuvuga Mercedes Benz. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So I'm parking, and yeah, kana kantu kali a little challenging. Let me just show you. Wano waliwo emmotoka ne wali emabega waliwo Benz ML, and ate wenyero teka waliwo omwalo. So by the way, bubanga wayiga emmotoka notayiga ku parking in reverse, tonnaba kuyiga mmotoka. Omuntu amanye emmotoka yo, omuntu amanye okuparkinga in reverse, ate n'atakulubula n'atayonoona, oyo omuntu aba amanye emmotoka. Kati nga bwe nkikoze, and I've put it in line properly. Yeah, so I have to conclude because now I have to go and get to work. And also remember, I told you my router is actually no, but I'm not using the Wi-Fi. I think I'm using data, so I can actually switch off my engine. So you guys have a question there. I think I've answered the question that my brother had. Whether to buy a car of 15 million in Getambudeko Kubo Wano, or to buy a car at 20 million in the bond. That question is very subjective. Ncho ino okumanya gwenga go omuntu chicho yagala ne chechi kolera. Then no manya ne goals zo. What do you want to achieve as a person, and whether buying a car from the bond will help you achieve those goals or not. Omuntu bubanga ogenda kola, for example, taxi business, Uber, bichi, You can buy a car from the bond because ojimanyi ulina kulina akasente kegenda okuwa kitegeeza yo yennyini esobola okwesasula. Naye oba ogenda kugula mmotoka yo yakuvuga buli lunaku ng'ate tonnatuuka in the class where you're financially free nti you can buy that car bwefuna obuzibu n'ogula endala. I would recommend that you buy a car in good condition, just get it inspected very well, or you get it at a cheaper price so that you keep money on your account. Which because times are Uganda is very unpredictable. America. But in Uganda, things are very unpredictable. Today, your business is doing very well. Tomorrow, you can come to Kuganda because of you get what I'm saying? You don't argue with URA, it's a government agency. Because you don't have money to pay lawyers again, that you start battling it out with URA and all that. I think a majority of people don't pay taxes. I pay taxes, my company pays taxes, but it's very painful to pay taxes. Even more money than you. You get. So, bw'obanga ina business yotesasula musolo oyina ebintu bingi byotakola oyita makona, you need to know that anytime, anywhere, anytime things might go south. And if things go south, are you buying a car that you can manage during those tough times? That's why you find that abasajja abakulu batusingamuko ku magezi. Omusajja omukulu tomusanga ng'avuga kikumi ye ng'agivuza emyaka n'emyaka ng'alina amayumba g'abapangisa, alina amaduuka, alina ze hardware, naye ng'avuga kikumi n'abeerawo agenda okugula Prado nga mutufu naye akiwulira azitoye era aba agisobola. So it's important that we also as young people start making those decisions, those choices, because for us atekati fe tuli exposed that okusinga ku bajjajja ffe bataata baffe bamaama baffe fe tulina ebintu bye tumanya ate bayita bamanyi because we are exposed to information. For example, now you're watching me on YouTube. Taata wo teyafuna chance eraba muntu mulala ku YouTube amugamba bintu byenkola ki naddala nga tonnagula ku mmotoka yo. Taata wo yewe yayita nagula mmotoka esooka teyafuna that chance. Kitegeeza he went in blind. There are things that you will watch on this channel obirabe obiyige nga taata wo teyabiyiga. So it will help you not make those decisions that are not informed, eziyinza okusuula, eziyinza okwavuwaza. Okitegeera because sijja gamba nti oli mugagga already, because it's very rare to find a person in their 20s, in their 30s nga mugagga. Abagagga abasinga e Uganda wano bali myaka 45, 50. That's when you get rich. It was Stuart the Katikilo said that it's in Uganda mugagga wala after 40, because after 40 oba omaze okufuna, for example, experience, omaze okuyita mu challenges ezisinga, ate era omaze okukakasa kyokola. You get. So before you get to that level, my brother, mathematics should be there. Choices should be one of your paramount key. Left is the right. Don't buy a new car when there is a, for example, why are you going to buy a Wish at 25 million if you can get a good Wish at 15? Because Wish was already 15 nga nnungi nga ira tolina byogenda kanika biri awo byamaanyi. Naye ate ne y'omubondi ogenda gigula 25 ojojo ongere million 2 to make it work the way it should on the Ugandan roads. Naye no jogula 15 already badde ku luguudo erumanyidde first of all. Naye nga ate byogenda okukola empyeri ono yabikola bweziba sport team ono yazigula. Okitegeera things like that. Service ogenda kusanga olumu ng'ekyali nako. Olumu najjajja negigula 15 million ng'omuntu omusanze abadde ayavuwadde nga yeetaaga million 15 okuzza mu business ye. So ng'emmotoka gy'akuwa at 15 iri worth like 18 naye ng'agikwadde at 15 because gwalina 15 eza cash ng'ate 15 ze yeetaaga. I don't know if I'm talking sense. Ontegeera. But that's how I made sense for myself. That's how I make sense for myself. That's how I make these car decisions. That's how I have managed to drive a car every day for the past 12 years. For the past 12 years, nze emirundi gye ninye taxi njibala, ate gye emirundi emmotoka bali mu gifuula langi, emmotoka katugeze nga nyine emmotoka bali mu gisiba engine, oba those days zemmala nga ntunze emmotoka eno olwaleero nga njagala kugula mmotoka ndala. I'm still making a decision to which car to buy. Those are the days zembadde mmaze nga sivugamu. Oba olumu a brother of mine has borrowed my car, which I don't do anymore because I don't have the space. I drive my car every day. But when I still had space, ngosobola okwazika omuntu emmotoka n'amaanyi ennaku 2. So those days ng'era olinnya taxi oba borders are dangerous. That's why I don't like them. Osobola okusaving emitwalo nga 2 oba 3 omwezi olw'okuba osolinnya border. Naye ate border bwekkuba n'egatwala mu nnaku 2. Because kuteekako kisementi kugulu, simanya kukebera, simanya tafunye internal bleeding, simanya biki, and you spend a lot of that money, they were savings the last month, no spending ate n'otaddawo. because once your leg breaks, it has broken. I have a friend of mine during the lockdown. I used to drive a sport. Yenga avuga, I think avuga bajaj. Ndozanga ajipangisa. No, but he's an older man. I think I never border bavuga. So he got a border from one of the boys. Nga ajivuga buli lunaku najja ko mu town. Then I think one day na agenda mukikuba asubule things for his shop. Because the motoka iba ite bajikiza tambula. Nateka kensawo y'omuchere, ensawo ya sukali and all that. About border, for them, they have experience. They can drive those things. Naye mukubivuga, I think pitch name wabako name gwira okugulu ne kumenyeka emirundi ebiri. He spent over 3 million to get that leg back in shape. Nenti ya pitch okuva kwolo. Ira yetadda ku pitch alinya border, but still even borders alinya bantu bamanyi nti ono gundi avuga bwati. You get? So yeah, avuga motoka ye everywhere. You get? Because now he tested it. It is a million subsari badde zikola kinene. Nti yali tumye wa boda na amugendera mu kikuba. Wa boda nebo yali mu bye na nebo yali mu kubye njawulo yali mu mitwalo 200. But now imagine, because yaita agala mu kubanja ule ye mitwalo 2, he spent 3 million and a full 2 years. Nika kati achawenyera. Imagine from 2020 paka kati achawenyera. For me, that's why I drive a car, because nze sifunanga ko accident yali major. Because I keep myself in the car since 2010. I regularly drive my car, and that has saved me a lot of trouble. So, but that's a choice I made myself. At least sigena kuspendinga sente mu ddwaliro nabudde ndi mu ddwaliro ndi kugulira banzi janjaba. But that's a choice another person jajja okukola agambe we only live once. The sente za kanseleke ku account millions zanga 2 sijja zigulako kamoto kakamberewo. But you need to know that if an accident happens egenda kuzirya. Osobola okugula emmotoka emiliyoni 6 naye emiliyoni ezo 6 bw'oba wagenze ku kitanda. Actually oyinza n'okuba oli ku boda n'ekkuba ng'olina miliyoni 2 ababbize basooka okubba ne bakola ki? Ne bazitwala. Ezo ne zigenda. I remember a friend of mine who died, and naye namugamba dda naye lwaki togula mmotoka? Lwaki togula? Because he could afford a car ng'agaana. So I think this one day he buys a motorcycle. Agula piki ye empya ndoza miliyoni nga 5. Amala ogula piki ye miliyoni 5 yayita nayiga bulungi. So the first day yagivuga the day before n'agitwala ewaka. The first day wavuga piki y'okudda mu kibuga. Aba boda omanyi babba mantala. The border guy came from behind and he hit him. So when he hit him, n'agwa mu trailer. Trailer n'emuli nnyo okugulu kuno. N'ekwasa yasa. So they took him to the hospital today. Ne bamutemako okugulu. So he did not wake up that day until tomorrow in the morning. No, he woke up in the evening. So people went ne bamubuuza nga tannamanya nti okugulu kuno baakutemyeko baali bamubisse. Remember we feeling tezinadda. So n'abeerawo n'anyumya n'abantu n'abagumya n'obagumya nja kuba bulungi biki. So he went there to the next day, and the next morning ndoza n'atandika okuwulira pain ne yeebikkula. That's when he realized that he didn't have a leg. Pressure n'erinnya, and he died. You get? So there are certain experiences that I've seen that for me, that is more heartbreaking than me spending money on my car, because at least I get to live a day longer. Of course, that is unlucky. That person was unlucky. Lucky. Why are you putting your life to chance if you can actually save it? Because in the way it's very hard for me to find a major accident that can actually crash the car and feed them. It's a very rare thing to happen. So I know that I'm at least safe from border accidents. Even my family, because I travel with my family, you can see jackets, my kids' jackets there. We're about to the jackets stay in the car and all that. And then today in the second neighbor wange, or your golf, you could be engine. So his golf, the engine died. And today as I was driving, I saw him. Oh, neighbor, what's there? He just moved in this week. He said, "Hey, but nange no taxi taxi togenda funa yagenze that we have one taxi in the estate, and it goes around 5:30, but they did not know." So and just like that, we had to give someone else transport, which was very honorable. We felt honored to give someone else a ride. So and I don't want you to forget that these are choices that you make. There are people that I know that have kept saying sigula sivuga motoka nkadde n'abeerawo emirembe n'emirembe n'emmotoka n'emulema n'atagigula. The people that said nze sisobola kuzimba kayumba kabi, those small houses, n'abeerawo mwaka ku mwaka ng'apangisa because he wants to live comfortable, ayagala kubeera mu nnyumba nnene. So he keeps on renting in a house of 600, 700, 800. When you rent a house of 800, it means you spend a minimum of 9 million a year on rent. 9 million was a quarter. Zisobola okuzimbira double rooms. But that is a choice that someone makes. Nagamanze, I would rather sleep in a house where I'm paying 900 than building a house at 9 million. Chitegeza sente z'omwaka zowalisasudemu rent omwaka ozizimbemu ennyumba gy'ogenda okubeeramu that you can actually sell 5 years from now n'ogitunda double that amount. You get, but that's a choice that people make. That's why I'm saying that omuvubuka nganze bw'obanga okyahasolinga, lwaki okwata miliyoni 3 ogenda ozigulemu emmotoka ng'osobola okugulako emmotoka n'ozimbako n'akayumba? I'm saying akayumba because half of the people, you know how you look at people abadde akola mu bank emyaka 2 n'atuuka to lose their job nga talina nnyumba. Let me tell you a story. When I used to rent in Chebando, there was a lady ng'ayuza ngoye, you know the dobbies, and ng'abeera mu container, you know those containers, kiosks, nga mwayoleza engoye mwabeera. I was surprised. Then I had a friend of mine, yali akola wiring, those guys that fix car wiring. And he told me, hey, Arthur, why did you rent? You can build a house. And I told him, but now he's called Paul. Paul, you can buy a plot at 4 million. Then you can build a house with another 4 million. Paulo limba. Nangamba Arthur tugende. He sat in my car tugenda. And then I saw this guy had 2 double rooms. One he was renting out, and then he was living in one. Nangamba Arthur nzeno plot na jigule million satu na mitwala 2. Then then he was getting 150 from the other double rooms. Chitegeza is living there, he's also getting 150 from there. Nangamba Arthur jakuzimba. Then when I got 4 million, I said I want to buy a plot. Then I called there's a lady that was my neighbor. Then I'm going to get a plot 9 million. Nyanafuna plot. Nangamba ajatugende. She took me to Kasangati, and then we found a plot. Of course it was small, but for me it was a good beginning. You have a plot, and then I paid 4 million. And then I was there, and then I would go visit my plot. That was, I bought that plot in 2015. Then I would go visit my plot in Enkarabako. Now I feel I've done some, because I never thought you could buy a plot at such an amount. Then in 2016, I decided that I'm tired of renting. And I'm spending 3 million on rent every year. And then this guy had told me, then I had 4 million, and I said, then we started building. I started with 3 rooms. Then I told the builder, let's build 2 rooms. We built 2 rooms with my 4 million. And I entered the next week. The rest is history, guys. So me, I don't see a reason why you make a choice to go to the bond and buy a car that is new. At a cheaper price. You don't necessarily have to build a home or a house. You can just put in business. But that's a choice. That's why I say choices in today's video. I hope this video has been enriching. I'm not a financial advisor, but even to be Mbagamba, these are experiences I've gone through that I think they could help someone. Na yate emotoka bibayetaga n'ojagala with reservation. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Love your car with reservation. Love cars with a reservation. I happen to know a 50-year-old guy who can buy a new car from the bond. I have got Ipsam eriku UAM. Ipsam eriku UAM esawe no mukatale limu million nga 5 nya kitundu. Yagivuze for 5 years. Na ye aina amataka etula. Every year agula ba neighbor be. Naye nga avuga ki Ipsam cheche million emeka. Ninga ba neighbor ba abagula na agula amayumba. He has a lot of properties in Tula Kawempe Tula Chebando, that place, if you know that place. So he's on average tujagama musajja mugagga. Naye avuga ki Ipsam che. It's a choice he made. Nagamanze, let me first accumulate wealth. Probably when he's turned 60 or something, asobola kuva ku Ipsam, naye nagula icho Prado che, oba nagula Kawundo, because then he can afford it without actually damaging his wallet. I have to go, guys. It has been a very good time chatting with you. Let me go check what happened to my Benz upload. Don't forget, you can check on the video later on. Again, and then you see if you can learn. If you can decide to buy a Benz, bobo ina mukwano gwa ina Benz ngeba de mutawanya. then you'll have gotten a Benz mechanic there. I highly recommend him. He's almost a brother. We went to school together. When we were 12, we were in the same school. And then when we finished senior 4 year na agenda, he started fixing Mercedes Benz. So you can imagine, I'm 32. He has been fixing Mercedes Benz since the time he was 15. We are the same age, which together. So, and even before then, we are in Mutonga during the holidays. I've been garage ya Benz. You get. So, I wish you a very good day. And the guys that are abroad that are coming back to Kampala, be safe. Send them a mistake for account. Don't come and overspend. I'm sure some of you guys are coming back next month. But if you can hide from your friends and family to do something useful, hide. Because sente zo ziba nyingi nga ziri wamu milioni 3 zidabika nyingi, but bonojja n'omenyako milioni 5 nga zifuusa 25. Omenya ketani nga zifuusa 2 awo nga zikendeera, then you'll never know when you get to a million ogenda okulanga ku account kusigaddeko million nga tolina kyokozeemu kyamagezi. Anyway, we love cars. I love cars. Era bw'oba olina emmotoka gy'opakinze mu kikomera nga togivuga, nze gimpe ngivuge, okitegeera okusinga okugiparkinga. Me, I love driving. I love cars. That's why my channel is called For the Love of Cars, because I did it for the love of cars. I'm sure there are other people that love cars like Council Yunus. And don't forget, on 17th, it will be a Monday at 4 p.m. We are going to have a live on the Council Yunus. We are going to be talking about a lot of things. It will be a very enriching live video at 4 p.m. Don't forget, Monday 17th. Yeah, you can tell your friends about Garo. There will be a lot to learn from it. You remember, he has his experience. You can ask questions. You can actually chat with him live. I'm chatting and Angawano. That will be on the 17th. I wish you a very nice day. Let me go attempt. I have a day job to Watanya. Let me go and try to find money. Don't forget, I inspect cars. Of course, I don't inspect for free. To make sure that you get a good car, I charge between 350 to 500, depending on which car you're going to buy and what your budget is. I also sell car trackers. Bobo ine motoka, anti-wa ine motoka. Okusinga bana maruji mubako, and then they regret Mugambe. There is a tracking device you can use. Go a motoka tracking dakusimu. You can even turn off the engine on the phone. You can even call the tracker. No ujabali motoka bivogeda. I sell and install those trackers at 350,000. Yeah, we can find you where you are. We find you where you are and we install it there. I tell you to register. Don't tell people that you have a tracker, because I will a tracker. So we install trackers for you at 350. We have also car alarms. Yeah, those are the things that I do that can enable me to actually do these lives. Yeah, don't forget, share my channel with your friends. Share my videos. That's something you can do for me. No video click share or either on WhatsApp or but share on your Facebook pages. Share on your Facebook pages about videos, or so that we spread the information. To make it naive, but mechanic because we are naive sometimes. But with my channel, I'm sure now when government, I know that replacing a clutch is 30,000. Because I don't know where they do it from. Refacing, you get. So it's cheaper to have knowledge than to not have knowledge. Have a nice day and God bless you.